Tiny Realms is a towny survival server that is quite new. The server has been up for what seems like a long time, but in fact has not. The server was started about 3 months ago by owners who seem to know what they are doing. These owners are running this server well. The server seems to have an older demographic of players, and where there's an older demographic of players, there's more money. While I was online, I saw at least 2 donor kits purchased. People of the server seemed quite friendly towards new players, and this server doesn't seem to be going anywhere. While I was there, many people said hello and hi and welcome. People were even nice enough to invite me to their towns to help me gain a better idea of what kind of town I wanted to build. And the towns that I ended up seeing were established and well built. The server's rules and friendly community dissuade just about all aggression. You can just hop on and join a town or create your own. There are many different towns to choose from, with many of the players always online. The server is based in France, but whether or not the players come from France, I couldn't tell. With the server being from France, I had a hard time keeping my connection. At first I thought that the lag was due to having too many players and no world border, but after I saw the server was from France, I had to reevaluate. At this point, I don't know whether the horrible lag was my connection to the server or the server itself. However, you could tell that the other players were having lag issues as well. The owner recently stated that he would be upgrading the server to a 32GB RAM machine, so for that fact, you know that your donation money is heading in the right place. The spawn and plugins they seemed to use were kind of dull, with most of the focus being on the community side. Having a community focus is most certainly not a bad idea. Once you've got a community, you're grand. But getting one is the hard part. For me coming in, first off it felt like an old server. I walked around and there was really not much to do. It's just a towny survival server, with some epic mobs every now and then. I wasn't there for the community, but that seemed to be its biggest pull. I was taken by surprise by the community. As far as I could see, there wasn't anything about the server itself to keep the player base it had. As I continued to play, the experience I felt was rather plain. Without a PvP arena or other things to keep the game interesting, towny, with the occasional epic mobs wasn't enough to keep my attention. If I'm going to be honest, me personally, I was bored after the first 30 minutes. However, I did not join nor create a town. The server was built for team play and the community. If I were to stay and actively engage in the towns and the community, I can say that this server review would be very different. But as it stands, I was there for too short of a time to give an accurate review. So with all that, this server has one of the strongest communities I've seen so far to date, with many towns to join or create, and many players to interact with. If you're a community person and you need a safer, funner place to play, this server might be for you. So the final verdict is a solid 7. They have very little features, but where they lack in those, they make up in a great active community.